Shanelle and welcome to my channel. So let's just get into Housewives of Potomac season 5 episode 9. So we start back off at the fight. Monique is telling Candiace to get her hand out of her face, and then she started asking Monique if she was going to drag her. Monique starts flipping her hair, asking her, do you want me to? So for me, okay, because I know some people were in their feelings and didn't like what I had to say last week, but for me, if you have your hand in somebody's face and you're coming towards them and then you're asking them if they want you to drag them, that's you saying that you're ready to be dragged or you're ready to fight. Because myself, if I wasn't and I wanted to de-escalate, I would walk away just like she did back at the cabin. That was great. I don't want to be a part of this, I'm gonna move away. But you stepping towards her says to her, okay, you're ready to take it there. It's actually Gizelle's hand that pushes Monique, and everyone tried to get in between them. So I could see it that in that time frame when you're about to black out and you're ready to be in fight mode, how you might think that that hand push could have come from Candiace. But also, she may not have even felt that. Monique gets a firm grip on her wig and the wine goes in her face. But she couldn't tell if it was, but I couldn't tell if it was because of the pull or if it was because Candiace was trying to hit her with the glass. Monique mollywops the girl in the head repeatedly, and several crew members come in and no one can get her to let go. People are screaming at her to stop and she still won't let go. 17 people crowd around Candiace and one guy takes Monique away and you hear her say, stupid bitch. And Candiace yells, get that hood rat ass bitch out of here. So at this point, let's just talk about it. So I know a lot of people feel like Monique was in the wrong because she put her hands on Candiace first, or whatever the reasons are that you feel like she's in the wrong. Yes, I do agree that Monique was ready to go. Honestly, they're both in the wrong. Ashley comes back like, what the fuck just happened? She sees the glasses broken everywhere and just doesn't understand what's going on. And she asks, where's Monique? Then we see Monique talking to a crew member. She says, she asked for it. You keep talking like you want somebody to hit you. She now notices the wine on her face, so she clearly blacked out. Robin says Monique has a problem, forgetting that she was ready to fight Monique seasons back. But Karen, being a true friend, says, let's not throw her under the bus. I'm going to check on my friend. So it's really funny to me how quick they were to just say Monique has a problem. More Gizelle than Robin, but it's like you contributed to cause this problem between these women. And when things go to shit, it's kind of like, well, I'm just going to wash my hands of it. And they really did. Karen goes to check on Monique. Monique's trying to get back in the room and she's trying to open the door and the guy won't open the door. But it's how calm she is. She's like, excuse me, excuse me. The calmness that's in her voice knows that she's about to go back in there and shoot fire out her mouth on this girl. So it was a good thing he didn't let her back in. We see Gizelle and Candiace put their coats on and say, let's go because we don't do this. So Monique calmly walks her ass around the long way since the guy won't let her back through the door. Candiace says she's fine and doesn't understand why she's being rushed away. Eric, the co-executive producer, says, I need to make sure that you are away in a car. Please, baby. He seemed like he was really stressed. And he said it was about safety. But Monique is clearly putting on a front. Like, I'm good. It wasn't that bad. Like, which is very interesting for her to turn around and then put charges on Monique. So we see Monique starts running towards the car, and the crew members actually have to hold her back. She's real strong for, when somebody's really angry, no matter how skinny they are, they really start, you start to see their strength. Candiace calls Chris from the car and tells Chris Monique tried to fight her. And I'm like, no, girl, she sure hit you. And she's crying and embarrassed. She doesn't understand why Monique is coming at her so hard when she's been her friend. And that's the thing, like, those tend to be the worst fights. Someone that you think is your friend, because it comes from a place of deep hurt. So Monique is moving from a place where, no, you were supposed to be my real friend, and look how you went against me. She feels a deep betrayal, clearly. The Green-Eyed Bandits blame Monique all the way without taking responsibility for how they stirred the pot. Candiace says she'll talk shit all day, but she's not putting her hands on people. There's enough shit about black women fighting. And I was watching Funky Doniva's video the other day, and I agree with him. This black women narrative of how we need to present ourselves is tired. It's really tired, because you're acting like people don't fight regardless of race. Like white people don't fight. The whole idea of the way we're supposed to look as black people is put on us by white people. So yet again, you're still being controlled by an outside narrative. People fight. It happens. So let's not define a person by one situation. It's not like it's something that's a consistent thing. It's a show where people have their feelings heightened. Things are heightened, situations are heightened, and everything's on camera. So it adds insult to injury. So sometimes things get out of control. It's the same thing like when Portia and Kenya had that fight. The violation of Kenya putting the scepter in her face and whatnot, all of that stuff, it's like eventually somebody is going to lose their cool. Like, if you're able to keep your cool all the time, congratulations to you. But not everybody can do that. Not everybody is made like that. And Candiace seemed to forget her and her butter knife going for homegirl Ashley last year. So, like, nobody's innocent. I think people need to really take the time in this situation and see how they added to the situation and see how they can do things differently. Because it's not just Monique. Monique wasn't by herself in this. Because if Candiace had walked away, Monique would have had nobody to fight. Or should I say, Candiace needs to take responsibility for that. So Monique calls Chris about the fight, and he's embarrassed about the situation. He'd rather that they would figure out a way to get along instead of, grown women fighting. The next day, Wendy is prepping for TV with her baby. She says that she doesn't stand for fighting, and that this is why they don't give black people a seat at the table. So there we go again, allowing white supremacy to control how we feel about ourselves and natural things that happen as human beings to everybody. Gizelle is packing for Atlanta with her kids for their restaurant launch. She calls Robin. Robin said that she had looked into Monique's eyes, and it was like the devil had possessed her in the fight. Chris makes Candiace some tea while she's touching the sore spots on her head. She said she feels fine and that she doesn't have a concussion, and she wants nothing to do with Monique anymore. And then they go back over everything leading up to that event and wonder why it turned out this way. And she says that she's apologized to Monique more times than she can count. And it's true, she did apologize to Monique a lot. It did seem like Monique wasn't accepting any of those apologies, and that she wasn't looking for a resolution between them. Or anytime she was, Candiace wasn't on the same page. So, like, maybe if Candiace had did the podcast, this wouldn't have happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just seem to never be a flow between them, and they both picked at little things to bring them to this point. See, how that fight started was her saying that Monique was pretending to sleep when she was leaving. That was something so minor that it didn't even need to be brought up. But she felt away and she brought it up. And that was the big, them both picking at things to get them to this point. Okay, a chef is preparing a special birthday meal for Ray as Karen watches her as her contribution. So Karen says that she wants to learn how to cook more and whatnot, but all she did was turn over the fish in the pan. Like, I'm sure Karen can cook a fish, man. It's really not that hard. Ray feels neglected. He doesn't want to do therapy, but Karen convinces him to see a life coach with her so that they can work on their relationship. Basically therapy, but she glamorized it. She feels caught in the middle between Candiace and Monique, and she's not choosing sides because she really feels that they were both wrong. And you can tell that she's really hurt about it because she thinks that they're both wonderful women and hates that it's turned into this situation. So then they talk about Ashley and Michael, and that Michael confessed to the whole hotel thing being real. So Ray says, why would he confess to trying to have sex with a woman when he couldn't? I didn't know that Ray was such a messy. He's messy, but it's cute. Gizelle and her girls stay in a hotel since they're still not very comfortable with her mother's relationship with Jamal. She hasn't told her dad that her and Jamal are back together because he doesn't like Jamal very much, but she's planning to tell him so that he doesn't find out on the blogs. Chris and Monique are talking, and he's very disappointed about the fight. He really likes Candiace and Chris and hates that they're in this situation. Chris is thinking about his image, but Monique doesn't give a damn about the image or how crazy she looks. She said it escalated so fast and that she didn't see it coming. And she no longer wants to be in the same room as Candiace, because if you find that somebody consistently triggers you, the best thing is to not be in the same space as them. So growing up, she tells us that her mother told her that you better not start any fights, but you should defend yourself if you feel threatened. And then she went back to her old school way of stepping on their foot, pulling their hair, and then hitting them on the head. So she said that with the whole egging me on and provoking me, what did she want me to do? Give her a hug and a kiss? And that's the thing. It's like you can't tell a person how to react if you continuously egg them on and then they do what you ask them to do. It's like, what do you expect? What did you expect her to do? It's like, you need to prepare for either situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe she'll walk away, maybe she won't. But you as a person, if you're egging them on, you need to prepare for that and not assume that people do what you do. Gizelle and her girls go to breakfast with her dad. She tells her dad that she's trying to get the family back together with Jamal and that she's seen growth in him and she's forgiven him for all the things in the past and whatnot. In her confessional, she tells us her father didn't go to her previous wedding with Jamal. She says he says he wants her and the girls to be happy and that she can count on him, walking her down the aisle if they were to remarry, which was all she needed to hear. So she went on feeling very confident with the growth of their relationship. Michael comes home to Ashley and the baby. Ashley is happy now that the heat has shifted from her and Michael's relationship and Michael's infidelity to Monique and Candiace, but she's not feeling like everything's hunky-dory in her relationship, in her marriage. She asked when he started to feel like something was different in their relationship, and he said he was missing intimacy and the sex was not connected. She asked if he's going to be able to be disciplined enough, and he says that he has to be, and she's like, well, you were supposed to be before. So she presents the idea of a post-nuptial agreement to protect her and Dean in the event that this happens again, and he agrees to do it. In her confessional, she says that the prenup stated that after 5 years of marriage, in the event of a divorce, she will receive 50% of the assets. And a postnup removes the arguments and disputes, gives her a guarantee, and speeds up the process. Well, I know all this time we've been saying that this girl has just been trying to secure her bag, but honestly, she's very smart. He continues to do things that's embarrassing to them, and this way she can really protect herself and her child, now about to be 2 children, going forward. And if that's the way that she chooses to live her life and he's going along with it, then fine. Like, it's not my relationship, and good luck to the girl. You like it, I love it. Gizelle and her girls meet the staff and take a tour of the restaurant. A messy producer asks her how many kids Jamal Bryant has. Gizelle said she has decided that she's not speaking on his kids, or kids that she didn't give birth to, as it's not fair to them or their mothers. Now, that was a politically correct answer, which was very beautiful and very fair. However, Google says he has 5, because I looked, and I know y'all looked too, because when I typed in how many kids, the rest of the sentence came right up. Even though Google says it's 5 kids, I really think that there might be more children, illegitimate children, that may not be recorded yet, in recorded history yet. So I guess we'll see how that plays out, because was it once a year we hear Jamal Bryant transgression? Karen and Ray have a session with Angela, who hosts a radio show called Pillow Talk, which teaches you to reconnect with your partner. They're not as intimate as they used to be, and she's annoyed by his snoring, and he's annoyed that she's always busy and that they don't have time anymore. He's also missing attention and the fact that she cooks. She used to cook anyway, especially when the kids were in the home, and then once they left, it was like she no longer needed to cook anymore. And then Karen says that he used to cook when they were dating. She feels like he doesn't date her anymore, and she needs to know that he loves her. She knows that she loves him, and when Angela asks Ray, he says he thinks he loves her. And Karen's like, after 23 years, you don't know if you love me anymore? And he's like, well, you're not the same person you were then. You know, people change. And so it's like growing to love the person you're growing to be. So Karen's really hurt by the truth of this revelation, and we see her go upstairs. And we don't see what she's doing up there, but we hear on the microphone that she's crying and that she just needs to breathe. Like, she clearly needs to take some time. And so stuff like that is really rough, when it's like you want to be honest with your partner, they ask you for honesty so they can get clarity and move forward, but the truth is very painful. So, you know, I mean, they're still currently together, and I'm hoping that they work through it, because they're such a lovely couple. I love Karen. She's honestly become my fave on the show. The opening of the restaurant goes well. Gizelle's dad comes to support, which is lovely, because, you know, he loves his granddaughters and wants to be there for them regardless of who their daddy is. And they put the girls to work in different areas of the restaurant. So one's a hostess, one is going around with the general manager, another one is going around with the waitress. So it's good. They get to really experience the restaurant work and what it takes to run this business in this way. Gizelle, Jamal, and her father sit down with the girls on their break. And Jamal, and his annoying voice, says that he's excited for the future and what their family is doing. And I really wonder what he's doing for his other kids. Like, do they have a restaurant, or is it just for the legitimate children? They go back to work, and Jamal thanks Gizelle's father for his support. He says he's going to sneak out, and Gizelle's father says he's going to sneak out and go to the bathroom. Gizelle says to Jamal that she thought he was going to ask her father for her hand in marriage, and Jamal says, no, I think we had some rivers to cross before that could happen. So the hot mic is on, and we hear Gizelle's father, not knowing he's still being recorded, say, I think you can take the mic off of me. I think I'm done. This is not a good move for her. You know this guy's got 6, 7 baby mamas. Do you want to deal with that again? No. As a father, you think twice about that kind of thing. I'm done. So it's just very interesting to see that he showed so much support to her, to Jamal, and said that he was going to be really there for them, but off camera you see his true feelings. So I don't know if he decided that he was acting, or Gizelle asked him to put on this front on camera to show that he's supportive or what have you. And so once he thought he was safe, he told the truth or whatnot, or why he would even lie to her. It's like, the most your daughter needs your honesty, because even if she feels good about it, she needs to know that you're cautious, but you still have her back. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he feels guilty that he missed her last wedding and what have you, but the lying to me is just like, it's weird. I thought it was very weird that he would lie about that, but there you go. This is the family thing. Family can be real messy sometimes, you know. And I wonder if they had a conversation about it and what he said to her, and if his feelings have changed since then, which I doubt. But it'd be interesting to see how this looks going forward, because her kids don't like him. Well, I don't say her kids don't like him, but the kids seem really cautious. The kids don't even seem like whenever they're around him, they just always look uncomfortable. Now that could just be a camera thing, and they're teenagers, but it just seems like nobody is really feeling Jamal like that. And also that he's being forced on us like some kind of new and improved guy. And it's just, I don't know, it feels real icky to me. So, I don't know, like, hopefully Gizelle will get her happy ending. But I will keep watching to see. But anyway, that was the end of the episode. Thank you for checking in with me, guys, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts respectfully, because some of y'all are wild out there, really in your feelings. It's just a show, and it's okay to have different opinions. All right, stay blessed, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.